Today we will talk about kilesa in our real life. And to study about Dhamma, the important thing is not only to know what it is, but to observe the real phenomena that happens in our life and make use of that understanding to develop our life to be a better life. Kilesa also is the real thing happening in our life in every day, every time. It's like a smartphone. Have you ever used a smartphone? There is an operating system inside, iOS, Android, whatever. And what that operating system functions in a smartphone, it operates between input and output. Once input comes to the system, the OS operate and think what to do about that thing. And in our life, there is the same operating system functions in every time to react to the things that come to our ears, our eyes, our nose, our mind, our body. For example, when we hear the alarm clock rings in the morning, what happened to our life? We have at least two choices. The first one is to wake up and get up and be ready for the new day. And the second choice is to close the alarm clock and continue sleeping. If we look at this phenomena slowly, carefully, we will see the operating system inside. How do we react with this calming sound, calming input to our real life? If we use the operating system that comes with our instinct, that is called kilesa. Kilesa will make decision depends on the feeling, happy or unhappy. The kilesa will make decision to follow what we like. For example, when the alarm clock rings and we feel that sleeping or continue sleeping is more happy, is happier than wake up, kilesa will tell us to continue sleeping. But on the other side, another operating system in our life is panya. Panya will make decision depends on the reason. What is better? What is the thing that will give good results to both ourselves and others? Panya will tell us that we shall wake up and spend a new day to do better things. The problem is who will win this fighting, kilesa or panya? It looks like when we see a cartoon, there is a devil, an angel on shoulders and tell us different things, and we can choose which one we will believe. At the time when the alarm clock rings, the devil tells us to continue sleep and the angel tells us to wake up. We have a chance to choose. When we go to a shop and devil tells us to buy something which is luxurious, which is very expensive, and we like it, and panya or angel tell us not to do so and think about the value, the real value of it. This is the phenomena that happens all the time in our real life. And the problem is, do we have a chance to choose? If we do not be mindful, we will follow the devil all the time. When we make decision what to eat, devil will tell us to eat what is delicious. Angel will tell us to eat what is nutritious and good for life. For example, a boy who have never educated, when a boy will make decision what to eat, the angel or kilesa will take control and tell a boy to eat the delicious food, the sweet one, and don't care about the nutrition or the value of that food. On the other hand, angel or panya will tell a boy when they grow up and they know what is good, what is bad, angel tell a boy to choose the food which is nutritious and good for life. One important point is a trick, because angel will choose the choice which is good for life and happy in long term, but devil will choose the choice that provide happiness in short term. The differences are people prefer short term happiness because it gives instant feeling. When you choose sweet food, although it's not nutritious, it's not healthy, but it gives us the good feeling, the sweet, the deliciousness at the moment that we eat it. We get the happiness immediately and we like it. So most of the time they will won this game, and always. But if we have panya, we have wisdom, we have knowledge, and we think and be careful, we will think that it's not only the short-term happiness that we want, because the long-term happiness is more useful, is more beneficial for our real life and for others. If we choose the long-term happiness, although it's not very sweet, it's not very delicious at the moment we eat, but in the long term we get the benefit of the healthy food, of the healthy life. In this kind of decision making will happen every time and almost every moment of our life. When we put our smartphone on, we choose which clip we will watch, which clip we will click. And if we observe, we will see this process of our decision making. How do we choose between the devil and angel on shoulders? Which one do we believe and follow? If we follow devils more and more, the devil will be stronger and have more powerful and have more influence in our life. If we choose the angel and follow the angel will be stronger and have more powerful for the next decision making. From this story, we can come back to our own life. Every minute of our life, we have a chance to choose. When the sounds come to our ear, when any memories, any stories happens to our mind, we have a chance to choose. When we hear someone say bad word, the hatred speech to us, how do we react with this sound? We can choose between angel and devil. If we don't mindful, if we don't careful, the angel will have no chance to take control. The devil will tell us to be angry, to respond in bad ways, and give bad results in long term. But if we be careful enough, be mindful enough, and think carefully, we will see that we have a chance to follow the angel. And in fact, most of us, we know what angels tell us to do. And we know that we want to choose the angel. But why we cannot follow them? We know when we hear the rings of the alarm clock, we know that what we should do. But sometimes we cannot follow what the angel tells. When we choose what to eat, we know what the angel tells us to do, but we cannot follow what they tell us. And finally, we follow what devils tells. When we stand in front of the refrigerator at night and we know that there is a piece of cake inside and a piece of cake is waiting for us to eat, the devils tell us that we should eat it, although it's very late at night and actually we are full, but it's delicious. The angels tell us that we should not eat it. This fighting always occurs in our life. If we observe and think about the results of what we are going to do, we will see the result in short term and long term. We will see what is behind the thought of devil and what is behind the thought of ego. Another example is when we stand at night in front of the fridge and we know that there is a piece of cake inside and waiting for us to eat. The devil told us that we should not eat it, although it's delicious. The angel told us that it's not good for health. If we don't mindful, if we don't careful, the devil will take control and we will follow what the devil tells because it gives the instant happiness, the sweet, the deliciousness that we like. This is the point that we have to come to carefully think about the result, what the action that we do by acting, by speaking, and by thinking. If we are careful, we will don't follow all emotions happen to our life. If the good emotion occurs, kilesa or devil will tell us to follow that, to grab and wish that emotion to continue as long as possible and try to do everything to make that good emotions happens and continues. When we eat sweet, eat an ice cream, or watch very funny series, and we prefer that emotion happens, kilesa or devils will tell us, try to do everything to get that input because that kind of input gives a good feeling, and don't think about the usefulness or the benefit in long term. So this is the dilemma and the way we will live our life. Which operating system we will use for our life, kilesa or panya. Kilesa will make decision depends on emotion, depends on happy or unhappy, and they will always choose the happy choice. While panya will think about the good and bad, pros and cons in long term, both for our life and others. These two ways of thinking are very different and will bring our life to different ways. If we use emotion, like, dislike, happy, unhappy, to lead our life, that means we follow kilesa or devils, and we will choose everything that makes our life happy, and we don't care about the result, both for ourselves and others. If we use panya or angel, that means we follow the reasons, the result of what we will do, and we care what will happen to our life and others. What is the best thing that we can do for our life and others? This is two different operating systems for our life, and we can choose every moment of our life. If we are careful, if we are mindful, we will have a chance to choose which choice, which way of life we will follow. And if we try more and more to follow the way of Panya or angel, we will have a better and better life, both for ourselves and others. And if we follow Kilesa or devils, we will get a short-term happiness, but maybe we will have not so good in long term. If we choose delicious food but not nutritious, we might be happy when we eat, but we may have not so healthy life. Almost every time in our life we have chance to choose, and if we choose Panya or angel, that means we care the result, what will happen from our doing, our speaking, our thinking, and we will try to make it on the best way both for ourselves and others. But if we choose to follow Kilesa or devils, we will believe or we will follow the ways that give us the most happiness in short term and don't care what will happen in long term both for us and others. To make this decision, we need mindfulness. We have to observe our life very carefully. Whenever we hear, whenever we see, whenever we think, when we got input from ear, from eyes, from any channels of our life, if we don't mindful, Kilesa will take control and tell us to follow the way that gives us the most happiness, and they might give us the bad results in long term. We will eat delicious food, sweet one, but don't be healthy in long term. We will watch the funny clips and we spend a lot of time watching that and don't have enough time to learn, to study, or reading books. If we angry with someone who tell us bad words or drive a car in front of us badly and we respond badly, angrily, that might be happy at that moment that we can do something that responds to that kind of bad events, but in long term it might give bad results. We might be on the social networks. People may not trust in our personality. This is some examples that try to show us that we have a chance to choose our own life. Everyone, both you and me, we can choose to believe and follow devil or angel on our shoulder. That is Kilesa or Panya. That is the two ways of thinking. And if we choose depends on reason or Panya, we will get better result in long term. Our life have a chance to choose. And I wish you to choose the better way and make your life better every day and every moment of your life. Thank you for today.